To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am attorney Michael Eline. I'm an attorney licensed in California and Texas. And I'm here a little bit early today. And this is going to be like a normal work day for me. I'm starting a little bit late because I was trying to get my studio set up. Because when I try to live cast on StreamYard from the same computer as I work off of, you get delays in the video feed. So what I did is I set up another computer on the network, and so I'm going to be over here working. Occasionally I'll look over at you. I know it's a little bad, but I'll figure it out. I'll get another camera over here at some point. But my goal is to kill two birds with one stone, so I can share cool things with you throughout the day that I typically do when I'm working. So when I'm at work, I'll listen to YouTube videos, and I've been following a couple of really cool channels. One of them is Delete Laws. Chili DeCastro has a really good series on the fires. He's over there right now covering the fires. Many of my friends have lost their homes in the Palisades, and what a joke. You know, Gavin Newsom and his single party Marxist state refusing to manage forests, refusing to build the reservoirs that they have money to build to recapture melted snow and rainwater, and instead they just let it flood out to the sea, blame it on global warming, and raise your taxes. And that's why everybody's leaving. One of the reasons, besides all their nonsense trying to convince school children that boys are girls and girls are boys, the other issue is blaming everything on global warming as an excuse to raise your taxes. So we're going to cover that. What's going on, Steve? Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Race Gas. So I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to cover... And I'll be working, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of commenting. You're right on, Sylvia. Hopefully you like my channel. This is, I do this because I know that most of the news and information you get is for-profit media garbage designed to keep you, hooked to the teat of the state instead of teaching you to be a critical thinker and think outside the box. And so my channel is based on the concept of natural law, which is mentioned in the Declaration of Independence, where it says that all of our rights come from our Creator with a capital C, which implies divinity, which denotes divinity. And that means that since your rights come from a Creator, they can't be taken away by the state, which of course we know the communists and Marxists like Gavin Newsom hate that because they're part of the World Economic Forum young world leader class, global young world leader class, like Trudeau, and maybe even like Musk. I'm not sure about him yet. One of the things about Musk is the things that he says go against the one world government thing, like, ending the woke mind virus, which is what Gavin Newsom has infected all the teachers unions with in California, and which is why so many parents are now homeschooling their kids and trying to get them away from these college safe space, blue-haired mafia types who are trying to basically destroy the minds of your children and make them slaves to the state. So I appreciate you being here. So today, I know I'm trying to get into the picture here. Let me just see if I can get the camera a little bit of a better adjustment. Hopefully that and I'm going to be over here working on my computer. But I'll be playing stuff for you guys. So the order that will follow is, because again, I'm a lawyer. I'm licensed in California and Texas. So I'm working, trying to feed my family. But at the same time, I have so many people requesting things and saying, hey, Mike, when are you going to go live again? And it's like, guys, it's really hard for me to do these shows where I'm totally focused. I did one last night for about 2 hours, just killed me because I'd already been up since 0400 working. And I know a lot of you guys think, oh, you're full of it. For those of you who follow me regularly, you see that I get up and I do my workouts where I'll take my uki bands and do some judo training. And I'll take you to the park and take you through a workout for all you guys who are thinking that you can't stay in shape unless you go to Powerhouse. No, you can still do stuff. And so that's what I do. And it's becoming sort of a labor of love to try to stay active and and help you guys. By the way, everybody, please let me know what's going on with Chevy. Chevy is a friend of mine, and he just sort of fell off the map. And I heard that he's in the hospital. So if there's a way we can find out where he's at and send him some flowers or some cards or something like that, just to let him know we're thinking about him, I think that would be really super. Make sure that his family has a trust set up so they're not going to have to go through probate. I'm willing to donate my time to do that. Hey, Brick Jonesy, good seeing you, brother. So, look, over the last few days, we've learned a lot of crazy things about Mr. Gold, Lane Meyers, and Reluctant Prophet. And I've been following this saga, and having had an opportunity to, I've done some videos, so I don't want to rehash the whole history behind this, but basically Reluctant Prophet and Mr. Gold are being harassed by the administrative state, the bureaucracy in Arizona. And Lane Meyers came to try to help these guys, and he got harassed. He's been falsely imprisoned. He's had all these outrageous charges brought against him by the prosecutors. We're now learning that there seems to be a connection between the judicial branch, the prosecutorial branch, and sitting attorneys of the bar. And there are allegations that they're all working in tandem, in concert, as state actors to deprive Reluctant Prophet, Mr. Gold, as well as Lane Meyers, of their rights. And Lane is one of these guys who's really good at the law. He knows how to tear through Westlaw and come up with good legal arguments and theories, and they're sound. And when I initially watched him, I was like, this guy's going to end up in prison if he keeps talking to the judges this way. But so far, he's figured out a way. Anyways, he had I think 30 criminal charges or something against him. I mean, can you imagine being a freedom fighter and having the power of the state leveraged against you, like these Jan 6 guys, where the whole audience was filled with CIA and FBI agents, and you got the Capitol Police inviting them in to the Capitol because the left is trying to cover up all of this election interference stuff, right? They're trying to change the narrative using their friends in Communist News Network and PMSNBC. And then they have their friend Liz Cheney, who might as well be a Democrat, and this other guy get on the Jan 6 committee in contravention of the House rules. Never before in history had a panel been selected by the Democrats. The Republicans got to choose their own people to be on that panel. But in this case, Kinzinger and what's her name, Cheney, were selected by Pelosi. And of course, they buried all of the evidence that would have helped Trump, right? And now we're finding out that with help from their friends in social media and who's that guy? That lowlife who runs Facebook, Zuckerberg. They literally took video down where President Trump was saying, I don't want people to riot. I want people to be peaceful. They took all that down to create this narrative that he tried to create a riot. And now we've recently found out 2 weeks ago that he ordered the National Guard to show up, and somebody countermanded his order within the Capitol. We know that the only person who could have done that is Nancy Pelosi. So we're getting all this information that's showing that all this election interference, boarding up windows, not letting vote counters watch what's going on, kicking them out, lying and saying there's a water leak, and then catching them on tape after they've kicked out the vote counters to continue counting the votes, pulling out cases and cases of ballots from underneath tables that they snuck in the morning and hid them underneath these tables with cloths covering them up, feeding them into the voting machines 2 and 3 times each, double counting votes. And people are frankly pissed off, and at least half of the people in the country don't trust what's going on. So I try and create a situation where you're going to get at least both sides of the story. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That's right, guys. So the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to cover really quick a little bit of video about what Chili's been doing. And by the way, guys, give me a bunch of ones for Chili. I think that he's found his place. I think he's really found his place. Besides just being a cop watcher and risking getting arrested all the time, I think that he makes a great newscaster, a great journalist beyond just cop watching. And so we're going to watch some of his video, and then we're going to get into the Lane Meyers charges getting dismissed. And then we're going to cover a story about a United States Marine, black dude, we call him dark greens, who came from a really crummy childhood, from, horrible life where he had abusive parents, drugged out parents, losers kind of. And he saw a lot of killing and murder. Went from, I think, Pasadena to Texas, and finally, somehow he ended up in the Marine Corps. And a little bit about his story and about how he ended up earning the Navy Cross, because I want to show you guys that it's not about your race, your color, or your background. It's your mindset that makes you special as a human being. That we're all God's children, and no matter what, we can come up from ashes and rise up like a phoenix. And then, I'm just going to be working. I'll try to answer questions as I go along. Let's get this first video going.
When I wasn't live, dickhead cops who are absolute dickhead cops. These ones I haven't even interacted with at all, so I can't say that these particular couple of cops here are pigs, but the cops I talked to earlier were pigs. These guys may not be. These guys may be great guys. I have no idea. But this right here, folks, is Hollywood Boulevard. I don't think you understand what's going on here. The level of weirdness that's happening right here in Hollywood right now. See all these people? Look at the smoke in the air. You can see the smoke in the air with the helicopter lights. Do I have cop cards in here? A couple cop cards.
Better hand out some cop cards, homie.
Didn't I have? Do me a favor, you guys, double tap on the screen, double tap. Look at that smoke. Holy shit. Hollywood is literally on fire. This is surreal. This is surreal.
A lot of people are saying it's the homeless, but I just think it's just mismanagement by these Marxist scum that have managed to wrestle control of California.
Nobody said the cops were robbing people after they evacuate. Nobody's made that claim. Certainly not on this channel. We have not. It's really like a scene out of a movie. Like, it really is. I haven't seen anything like this before. It's the first time I've seen anything like this in Hollywood. Hang on, I'm going to walk down. Any cop cards? Okay. I'm going to pop down a little bit and see if I can get a better view here. Do you see this right here? You should not be able to walk right here right now. I mean, you can cross right here, but this place is typically packed. So is this road blocked off down here too? You guys don't understand what's going on in Hollywood, California right now. This is actually surreal. I've never seen anything like this before. So I think I can walk up that road right there. Just don't know where it's going to lead. As far as this is a surreal situation. Very, very, very few times am I in a situation where I feel like it's chaos. But this is actually chaos. The people are coming down from the Hollywood Hills because the hills are on fire. Yeah, they said 2025, all truths would come to light. Well, we've had this homeless problem. They call it a homeless problem that we refuse to address. And you guys are all going to find out that these fires were caused from homeless encampments. That you're going to find out. Because it's such chaos and the roads are so dark, I'm really limited to what I can do. This is Hollywood, California right now. Do me a favor, you guys, double tap that like button. Take your finger and just double tap right on your screen. Just take your finger and do that for me a couple times. I'm going to go back over to the other position and see if I can see if the fire is still burning up the hill. No, Nicole, I've lived in Los Angeles, California for 25 years. We've never had anything like this, ever. I was gone for a couple years in Ohio and Nevada. Yeah, this is absolute chaos. I just talked to Jeff fucking Lloyd. If you guys don't know who Jeff Lloyd is, he's from a documentary that I produced called The Terry Era. He's in his house and there's a fire all around him right now. I tried to get up the hill to get him out of there, but they wouldn't let me up the hill to get him. Maybe I'll go back and try to get him again. Holy shit, look at that smoke.
Hey, look, I've got another idea about what's going on here. Hey, Brent. Hey, Jacksonville Kid, Steve Conkler, BZ. Look, I've got another idea about what might be going on. We know that the Biden administration has used our tax dollars to flood our country with illegal aliens and basically left our southern border wide open for the last 4 years. We know that Chinese nationals, military-age males, many of which are probably members of the Chinese Communist Army, who are allied with the Russians, and we're basically at war with Russia. You don't think that our enemies are just causing havoc, derailing trains, burning down factories, doing everything they can to destroy our infrastructure? Because if you don't, you probably need to remove the crack pipe from your face. Obviously, when we make our country unsafe so we can make nonprofits rich with your tax dollars, this is the end result. And who is the primary beneficiary of all this? The FBI and the CIA. Because now they can put pressure on the government to pass another law to take away your freedom. And we've already got these FISA laws, which are totally unconstitutional, in violation of your Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. We've even seen how they've locked up these January 6 defendants without access to attorneys in these tiny little cells, basically treating them worse than the Soviets treat people in the gulags. So if you don't think that that's what's really happening, I think that you really need to learn about history. You need to learn about who the people are who support guys like Newsom, like Klaus Schwab, George Soros, and these globalists who are hell-bent on destroying the world. It's uncanny and unbelievable to me, and give me a bunch of ones if you agree, that our news media isn't even talking about this. Like, how is it that we have a wide open southern border when we're basically in World War III against our Cold War adversary, the old Soviet Union, as well as China? I mean, this is just crazy to me that people can't see the connection between trains being derailed, food factories being burned down, the cover-ups. We found that there was a Chinese police department, I guess in New York City, with like hundreds of undercover communist Chinese police going and harassing Chinese nationals who live in this country. You people better start waking up to the reality of what's going on. Now, good morning, Reluctant Prophet. I'm just covering, by the way, RP, I'm working right now, but I'm so incensed about the stuff that's going on in this country, and having two little ones, I really feel obligated to leave this world in a better place for them. So I'm very grateful to have met you and guys like Chili and people who are out there, as Lane as well, and Mr. Gold, who are out there trying to make a difference. So I'm going to continue playing this video. This is Chili's coverage of the fires in Hollywood, and you see Hollywood's burning. It's unbelievable to me, and I see a connection between the globalists and these underground tunnels that they're building to where all the rich people get to live when they burn our world down. You don't think that the Russians won't use nuclear weapons if we continue this nonsense craziness that's going on, this money laundering operation, where we, at least 40%, according to several of my friends who were mercenaries over there from, who used to be jarheads, saying that, yeah, man, we're sending weapons and about 40% of it's getting sold on the black market. And then, of course, we know that a lot of the money gets laundered back to these politicians to help them run for governor or senator. It's all part of to me, a huge human money laundering scheme. And all these rich and wealthy people are building underground bunkers. They're tunneling underground. There's thousands of miles of tunnels, allegedly, where the bureaucratic state, the administrative state, gets to live while the whole world burns. And this is a microcosm of what I see happening to the entire world. You see it happening before your eyes in real time. Let's keep going.
Yes, the Hollywood Hills are on fire. We had the fires in the Palisades. You're not going to believe it. The Palisades fire burned down my investor's house, his beautiful house in the Palisades.
Right down this way. Here is our current street that we are on. We got over here just as they roped everything up here. So close. I think they are
Great. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to catch your cord there. Well, why are you pushing me? I'm a member of the press. I get more views than they do by far. I am a First Amendment press pass. I'm a First Amendment auditor. I have almost 1 million subscribers. I get more views than them by far. Not even close. Okay, then bring them. If you're going to let them up there, you're not going to let me up there. What's your name and badge number? Walker? What is it? Walker, what's your badge number, though? I can't hear you, brother. Sorry. What? No, I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming right now. 743? See, I'm a member of the press. I've been a member of the press for years. This is what I do for a living, is I cover events. You can't say that because they're state-run media and I'm an independent journalist that they have more privileges than I do.
Right.
Okay, get your supervisor then. You said if we're a member of the press, we can go up there closer. I don't know why you would discriminate against me. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Prior restraint, first.
As a matter of fact, there's been a recent ruling out of Texas that says that you can't deny me to be press. Just so you know, there's a circuit court case out of Texas that just happened this year from another First Amendment order. You can't give these people special press passes, but not give me the same press. You can't do that. Mr. Walker, what happens is, though, when I sue, you get sued. You can't do that to me. I'm a member of the press. Now, I don't know if these guys are members of the press, but I can show you I'm a member of the press. Sure. But you just said a second ago that they could go up there, but I couldn't. I want to get the better shot as well because I have a huge channel with a huge audience. This is like Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal. This is not equal. You can't say that they can get a better shot than I can get. Okay. He's not a firefighter. He's a cop. You have to fight for your rights. What the hell are you talking about, buddy? You have to fight for your rights.
That's
if you don't fight for your rights, you don't get any rights.
That's right.
And so go ahead and
Right.
explain to me, though, how these guys are press and I'm not press. All I do is cover events. That's all I do. No offense to them. No offense to you guys at all.
But you were trying to get up on our thing, and that's not cool.
I wasn't trying to get up on your thing. I didn't need to get up on your thing. You should be fighting for my rights as well. You should be with me saying, wait a minute, he is a member of the press.
But you don't have the proper gear.
I don't have the proper-
fire training.
Did you say I don't have the proper gear?
Like, do you have your fire gear and stuff like that on you?
My higher gear? I don't know what you're saying. I mean, I'd like to know. I'm inquisiting respectfully. I'm not being mean to you at all. I'm not calling you names.
But see, the thing is that all this fire is not safe for you not to have a face mask.
You're telling me that face mask is going to keep you safe, but I'm not safe.
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Yes, absolutely, way better than no face
That
mask.
so
N95 would be a lot better.
no, I agree. An N95 is a pretty good mask, but it's not going to keep me safe from the fire. So then you're not safe either. Oh, so okay. So, but does that change that I'm a member of the press? It doesn't change anything. You doubt I am?
What's your life?
Delete laws. Go to delete laws on YouTube right now.
Delete laws?
Go to delete laws on YouTube and you tell me if I'm not a member of the press. I don't care either. You know what you are? You're the status quo. You're like a loyalist.
That's right.
When during the Revolution War, there were people like you who were
That's
the
right.
cancer. They were called snakeheads. They were called copperheads. Yes. I'm just letting you know, bud. Someone let me know that Justin Pulliam ruling that happened in Texas. If you could, please. Let me know the Justin Pulliam ruling out of, I think is it the Fifth Circuit in Texas, where they said that you can't deny independent press the same rights or the same right to be press as you would independent journalists. That's right. Big or small, same rights. Same rights. I think Benjamin Franklin said those who would give up essential liberty for a little bit of safety deserve neither. And you would be fighting against our rights.
Wait, what? I didn't know.
Benjamin Franklin said those who would give up essential liberty in the name of safety deserve neither.
And this is why our public school system and college professors teach you that all of our founding fathers were essentially just racist white people, and pretty much everything they said should be disregarded, because Marxists don't like it when people are independent thinkers like a Ben Franklin. But what Ben Franklin said is, those who would give up liberty for safety deserve neither, and in the end will have neither. And he also said, if we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately. And of course, he meant we'll hang from the gallows separately. And that's why I tell you guys, all this infighting amongst the government accountability people has to stop. Guys like Chile, guys like Reluctant Prophet, all these guys serve a valuable purpose in the revolution for taking back our rights and essential freedoms that have been eroded by the banking system, the Federal Reserve System, by the two-headed snake of the same body system. And if we can come together, even if we don't agree on everything, but establish some kind of détente, we have a chance at making this country a better place for our kids, getting back on a gold standard, getting out of this endless debt and these endless wars where the military-industrial complex is destroying our lives and our children. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
Their containment is a little bit. If anybody can tell me what their containment is, then I'll appreciate it.
Oh, the fire's right there, huh?
Yeah, but like you can see, it's getting bad on that right side.
Oh, yeah, they're dropping water.
Water drop right there.
Yeah, they're trying to get that spot contained. That will flare up pretty bad.
Hey, Death Angel, one of you guys look up that case for me out of Texas. Go to Justin Pulliam's channel. There was a circuit court ruling that said the independent journalists get the exact same rights as state-run media journalists. And you can't discriminate against me, because if they discriminate against me and they, oh, there it is right there.
They did let her in. That is a new speaker over here. We tried
Press
not to
credential.
This is the Sunset Fire. We're looking at Hollywood Hills right here. We're just off of.
I mean, our news media in this country basically work for billion-dollar corporations, big pharma. They pass off these false narratives. They use their friends like Zuckerberg and social media to put up these bullshit fact check labels that are basically Marxist propaganda. They'll say that your stuff is false and only their stuff is true, even though they have no truthful basis to say that what they're saying is true or false. It all looks like it emanates right out of a far left college campus like Berkeley. And this is a result. We have the new generation of what I think are the Republicans of 30 years ago. But instead of big business, it's big tech. And now it's the so-called liberals who are the fascist totalitarians. And you see a prime example of this, trying to prevent anybody who is going to report something different than what for-profit media wants to be sold to the American people. Let's keep going.
We're right near Hollywood Boulevard.
I'm not looking up at the live updates. This fire looks so much better.
People's houses up there. They have this side contained.
It's quite a shit show. You have no idea. Yeah, I'm really sorry that you guys don't know. You guys don't understand. Hey, here's the deal. Look up that circuit court case out of Texas that Justin Pulliam, it just happened in Texas. I'm not sure if it's the Fifth Circuit, which circuit it was, but here's the deal. Look that case up for me, please, because these coppers tried to let state-run media up, and when I went up, they tried to stop me, and I said, you can't stop me. There it is. Oh, Pulliam. Okay, so it's Pulliam versus Fort Bend, Texas. Accept all. You got it. Right on, Mr. Wild Wolf. I appreciate that. For those of you that don't understand, you will never understand. If you give up your liberty in the name of some idea of safety, you'll get neither. You will get neither. You have to understand, you have to fight for your rights. It's 2024 Pulliam versus Fort Bend County, Texas. So that's case law right there. So Walker can't let up this media and say, you guys can go up there, and then say, you can't go up there because you're not a state-run media. You do that. Pulliam versus Fort Bend. Got it. I can't. And I won't break the law, and I won't go to violence. So anybody saying break the law or go to violence, I simply won't do it. I will not break the law, and I will not go to violence. I can't do that, Lana. I can't just go around. So if I go around this crime tape, then I've broken a ordinance, statute, or code, and I can't do that. Only under extreme circumstances where I'm willing to be arrested. Interesting. I'm glad you put that. Oh no. Don't get rid of People News. He's a friend. He may have said something that you didn't understand, but he's a good dude. I agree with you. Australians are free. I won't break the law, and I will not promote or go to violence. This is going to be chaotic here. It's going to get worse if they don't get this fire out. We are really locked down. There's helicopters all over the place. Each one of these streets is shut down. This is Hollywood Boulevard, and there's people amassing. Look at that. Got you. Wow, this is insane. I have never seen anything like this in Hollywood, and I've been here for 23 years out of the 25. Yeah, I hope Chevy's getting better. Yeah, the smoke is thick. Lots of people out here. You're always going to have those copperheads, people who don't give a shit about your liberty, don't give a shit about your freedom, don't give a shit about your rights. Always going to have people like that. Always going to be people who say stupid shit, and you just have to fight through that. You don't got to stick around, brother. Matter of fact, I'll send you packing, bro. Go to another channel. I don't give a shit what you think. I really don't. I have every right to be here, and I have just as many rights. If this press is allowed to a certain area, I'm allowed to the same area. We don't stop. We don't stop. Can you guys do me a favor? Put Team DLZ in the chat if you're a member of Team DLZ. Team DLZ rolling through the chat. So you guys heard what the copper said, right? He said you have to have a press pass. That's what that copper walker right there said. He said I have to have a press pass. Okay, there's a bigger plan in place.
Another reason to flee the Marxist state of California. You have police officers and you have government officials who think that they're the East German Stasi. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
Team DLZ, roll through the chat. Team DLZ. Soy Leal's here. What's going on? Jeff Eckhoen, what's going on? I don't see the hill on fire as much as it was. They dropped several. We don't stop, Call of Duty auditor. So this is press. That cop Walker right there let him up, but denied me access. Did the officer let you up the hill a little bit closer?
No, we didn't go that far. I just
Right.
wanted to get some of the drugs.
Sure. But he let you go through the yellow tape, right? Okay. Oh, because you're media? Oh, okay.
There's some looting going on, so that's why they only allow.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Good luck with your shot. She didn't do anything wrong. I got nothing against her. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. The smoke is thick. See the headlights right there? That's smoke right there. You see that? That's smoke in the air. Pretty crazy, huh?
And again, I'm a libertarian, but I got to tell you, when we had all the flooding going on back east, and then the FEMA shows up, and we see their internal emails. If you see somebody who has a Trump sign in their front yard, ignore those people and don't provide them with aid. Are you kidding me? Do you guys really think that that's fair? That just because somebody disagrees with your politics, who is also a taxpayer, you're going to deny them aid? And then you have the FEMA saying, we need to be about diversity, equity, and inclusion and help people who are of the minority class first. I mean, to me, this sounds like racism. It sounds like something that is out of a George Orwell novel. And I am so glad that Sleepy Joe Biden and all of his Marxist DEI friends are finally leaving the White House. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
Oh no, Pixie. I wish I had a 92 mask right now. I really do. Of course. Just because it filters out the particles that can
Hey,
go in your nose
Christopher,
that
good
make
seeing
you
you.
sick or get a headache, of course. But I don't have one of those N92s right now, so I just have to kind of, yeah, you won't get a notification. YouTube will not give you a notification. What was really crazy to me in this whole thing was the level of entitlement by this one right here. The level of entitlement, how she really thought that she was better than me because she's a state-run media operative. This cop's going a little too fast for how many people are here, but it's pretty typical. Here it comes again here. Man, it is really, really smoky. Look at that. Holy shit. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, you're not kidding. I'm at Sierra Bonita and Hollywood Boulevard.
I mean, that blows my mind.
Mr. Walker?
Hold on, we'll get back to this in a second. Look, guys, this absolutely blows my mind that we have the fire actually reaching Hollywood. I mean, there's multi-million-dollar homes. Of course, they all voted for Gavin Newsom and all of his idiot buddies to destroy California because they think that, the Democrats are going to help them. Like personal injury attorneys are a prime example. Oh, we'll just vote Democrat because they're going to make sure that they go after the insurance companies and get us more money. So what happened? All the insurance companies have fled California. And now you can't even get insurance on a new home purchase. It's almost impossible. So this is the cause and effect of voting for your self-interest. So I don't understand how politicians even have this kind of power, to be honest. Our founding fathers wanted us to be able to freely contract, and the whole point of government was to regulate the contractual disputes. And so California is basically a microcosm of what you saw in East Germany, what you saw in the old Soviet Union, or what you're seeing in Canada, the rapid decline of the free thinker, of the free thinking individual, and the mob mentality. And that's why our founding fathers did not support democracy. Benjamin Franklin said, democracy is when two wolves and a sheep show up for lunch and decide what's on the menu. A republic, and what he meant by that is a natural law republic, is when two wolves and a well-armed sheep shows up for lunch to contest the vote. And so obviously the first thing that a fascist or Marxist country wants to do is take away your ability or severely restrict your ability to defend yourself and take away your firearms. And you see that happening everywhere. And as soon as the guns are gone and the individual does not have the right to defend themselves, you have something like what is happening over in the United Kingdom, right? Where they flooded their country with jihadists who are hostile to the culture of the Britons. And now you're seeing cover-ups by the police of these RAPE gangs from sub-Saharan Africa. You can't even say the word MUS, you know what, or you'll be accused of being a racist. And so Two-Tier Kier and all of his leftist buddies, the World Economic Forum crowd over there, were so terrified of being called racist that they allowed these gangs to continue assaulting Britons. And instead, they put people in prison for years for making a social media post pointing out Two-Tier Kier and the hypocrisy in law enforcement in the United Kingdom and their disarmed society. And that is exactly what is going to happen here. And that is exactly what has happened in California. And this is a direct result of that. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. I'm going to get back to work, but I'll wrap up the Chile de Castro video in a second, and we'll get into the Lane Meyers case. So here we go.
Did you come up with the supervisor yet? Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I understand, man. I don't want to give any problems. I just want my rights respected, you know? Yeah, man, I'm not violent and just doing my job as a journalist, you know? So I want to do nothing but aid the assistance of making sure that we have some order at the same time. What's that? No, I mean, I'm doing my job, you know, and there's a case in 2024 called Pulliam versus Fort Bend, where Justin Pulliam out of Texas sued because the police didn't give him the same rights as they gave other journalists, because we have a First Amendment right. And so if you're going to allow other journalists to walk up the hill to get a better shot, and I tell you that I'm a journalist, I don't need a press pass. And I don't want to spend my time suing cops who are not bad cops. So I don't know if you're a bad cop or not. You know what I'm saying? I hope not too. But if my rights are not respected, then I will sue you, you know? So yeah, no, I appreciate that. And like you saw, I was willing to de-escalate and talk it out with you. And you know what I mean? I'm not looking to cause any controversy for you. I want you to get through this difficult time. I just want my rights respected. You know what I mean? Yeah. And literally more people will watch my broadcast than the state-run media broadcast.
He's right.
It's delete laws, dude. You're welcome to watch it. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of cops, but only the bad cops, okay? It just sucks that 9 out of 10 of your brothers are shitheads, but there's 1 out of 10 that are pretty good. It's a horrible ratio. Well, it attracts psychopaths. You know what I mean? It attracts bad people. I've been doing this for a long time, brother. A long time. I mean, unfortunately, there's more bad cops than good. You know, now when I was wrongfully incarcerated and I was exonerated for that, I was in jail for 4 months, and I learned in jail, I figured that all the jail guards would be pricks, but they weren't. was a couple in there that were decent human beings. So it kind of changed my position on cops, made me think that there has to be a couple good ones. There has to be a few good ones, you know. If there was a few good ones in the dungeon where I'm completely helpless, then there's got to be a few good cops out here when I'm not helpless. So I've kind of changed, and then I'm friends with a guy named Detective Matt Thornton, and he kind of changed my perspective as well. No, he's on YouTube. You can look him up, Detective Matt Thornton. But he's a good guy. So kind of changed my perception. But at the same time, as soon as you deny me my rights, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like F you, dude. I don't know if you're a good cop, bad cop, but as soon as you deny me my rights and I quote you the case law, then I'm like, you know what? Go pound sand, dirty JBTP. You know what I'm saying? Jack Boot Thug Pig. But hopefully that's not you, Mr. Walker. Hopefully you're not a dirty JBTP. It's on the internet. You can look it up, JBTP.
Do you know what caused the fire, more or less? No, we don't have a car. But what, 20 years I live in this area, so approximately what should we do? Well, right now, we evacuated everything north of here. You know, I can't tell you because we haven't affected the evacuation from the south.
JBTP rolling through the crowd. JBTP rolling through the crowd. Thanks, Danelle. Appreciate you. Oh man, the smoke is heavy. Smoke is heavy and thick. I'm gonna have to put my hoodie over my nose here. You know what you're gonna find out? You're gonna find out it was a homeless encampment, or you're gonna find out it was a down power line. That's what you're gonna find out. And then this ridiculous bullshit radical leftist media is gonna say, oh, it's because of global warming. No, it's not. It's because of either a homeless encampment or a down power line. That's what it's from. They're going to tell you, oh yeah. It's because what climate change.
Yes.
What should we do?
Yeah, what should we do? He said basically, it's kind of in general terms. They say, yeah.
Get rid of Gavin Newsom.
Officer Walker, I want the same rights. That's all I want. I went under the crime tape to let him know that my rights were not being respected. Yeah, Jim. You should smell this place. I just don't want to put myself in the position. So, you know, I've made some mistakes as a First Amendment auditor, and you never want to put yourself in a position where the cops can arrest you. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you got to stand your ground. You got to take the ride for the people. But 99 times out of 100, you don't want to take that ride. You don't want to go to jail. Because once you go to jail, the prosecutor and the judge are both against you. And the judge will see no reason, and the prosecutor will only see the reason of the police. So you don't want to put your, now, just so you know, I have grounds to sue Walker right now. That's Walker there. And the reason I have grounds to Walker is because he let other journalists up there, but not me. And that's going to be grounds to sue under Pulliam versus Fort Bend.
And that's right. So just really quick, what Chili is saying is absolutely right. The First Amendment never said you have to have government approval in order to be a member of the press. In fact, the main idea behind the First Amendment was so that average citizens could criticize the king, could criticize the government, because we had the King of England locking people up, throwing people in prison because they were speaking out against the royals and the royal family and that unfair system. And so by having press credentials issued by the state, the very state that is supposed to be being criticized, these politicians and these government officials are basically circumventing the intent of the First Amendment. It wasn't just about freedom of religion. And press never meant a press badge for Communist News Network or PMSNBC or billionaires who are able to afford to buy Washington Post and then spread whatever misinformation they want, or be like Zuckerberg and hire a bunch of far left Marxist fact checkers to say everything that you said is false, and therefore you're spreading disinformation so they can defame you online and then hide behind Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act and be immune from being sued for defamation. That is not what it ever meant. And that is another reason why so many people are fleeing California, because many people are complaining that the judiciary is basically just a bunch of far left Marxists and they're not getting justice. It's like in Washington District of Columbia, we're getting the same complaints. You know, there's no justice when the entire jury, the Capitol Police, and all the judges are basically like little miniature Barack Obamas, little miniature college campus professors who hate America and love burning American flags, right? The rainbow flag mafia, many people call them. And so as a result, this is what many people are complaining about. So now the next thing I'm going to get into, and by the way, I do personal injury law. I do the YouTube channel sort of as sort of a hobby and as a passion, because I want to help people understand natural law, natural rights, where their rights come from, and what our founding fathers intended for the country, which is that the rights of the individual were what mattered, not the rights of the minority, not mob rules like a democracy. Democracy is never mentioned in any of our founding documents. All of our founding fathers spoke out against democracy as being inherently evil. But now when you go on to a college campus or a public school, they'll look at you like you're a crazy person for saying that America is not a democracy. So that tells you how far the country has gone down the shitter. So, and another reason why you want to homeschool your kids, you want to get them away from these people who don't even know about their history, who criticize you for simply repeating the words of Ben Franklin. For example, Ben Franklin said that a democracy is when two wolves and a sheep show up for lunch and decide what's on the menu. A republic is when two wolves and a well-armed sheep shows up to contest the vote. So when I hear all you college types say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, we're a constitutional democracy, blah, blah, blah. Well, none of those words or meanings existed at the time of the founding of the republic. These are all new words and terms that came along later that you're trying to use. But demos or mob is simply, many would say, who are educated, mob rules, where 51% get to destroy and control the other 49. And that's not what our founding fathers wanted for this country. And give me a bunch of ones if you agree that's totally unfair, that 51% of the population should have the right to control the other 49. And that's why we have an electoral college, because they realized that the majority of people will always put their hand out, like if you work at a union. If you work for a government employee union, for example, you'll have 2 or 3 people that actually put in maximum effort, and you'll have the majority of them standing around with their hand out, relying on the other people working, and they all get a pay raise. And so the other guys that are working really hard are pissed off because they put all the maximum effort in, and then all the lazy folks still get a raise. Collectivism never works, and that's why communism and socialism always fails. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Now, let's go. All right, so let's get into I'm trying to find now the Lane Meyers video. Here we go. This is going to be a good one. So a lot of you guys, hopefully Mr. Gold and Reluctant Prophet are still here. So we were waiting for this big announcement, and I was thinking it was going to be that they finally found a connection between the drug cartels and the judges and all the politicians in Arizona that would stick. But this is almost as good. It's actually pretty awesome. So as you guys know, Lane Meyers, he's a freedom fighter out of Arizona. He has an unorthodox way of being a pro se litigant and holding judges' feet to the fire. Him and Reluctant Prophet keep getting tangled up with the government, false arrests, false accusations, and fighting it out in court, getting all their time burning themselves out. And so there was a positive result in the Lane Meyers case. And so I'm just going to let Lane tell you what happened in his own words. Hopefully he won't be upset that I'm sharing this good news, but I think it's important for you people to understand how excited I am and how awesome this is. This is an amazing piece of information that a lot of people, by the way, this was like a 4-hour show. So just to give you a little background. So I fell asleep during a show last night, probably, I don't know, around maybe 2100 hours. And then I wake up around 22:30 or so. I hear boom, 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 bow, bow, and it's like it's a dub. Hold on a second, dude. It's so cool, man. This music is insane. Dub FX, and so I can't play the music. See, that's another thing smart about this dude is that he hasn't monetized his channel. So because of that, he's able to play all these videos. But this is the video that he was playing. One of them, Dub FX. It's called No Rest for the Wicked, dude. It was insane. So I wake up to this music and I'm like, whoa. And I look over, the dude's got his shirt off. He's got this bow tie on, yoga pants, and he's got these big Terminator glasses. And I'm just cracking up, man. I couldn't believe it. So that's who this guy is. Lane is a total eccentric. He's his own man, and he's a super, super cool dude. And I'm super happy for him that he hasn't monetized his channel because he really gets to do really cool stuff. And look, guys, if you want to support him, you can still donate money to him. He doesn't even like look to try to get donations, and people just send him money. He's one. That's another thing, guys. Like, you guys are out there begging people for money, looking desperate. Eventually, you're just going to piss people off. They're not going to want to help you. It's better to provide something of value, and people will just want to naturally help you. That's why I kind of lay off and just say, hey, look, if you want to support my channel, the best way you can do it is buy memberships, because that will help me pull other people into our fold. Like, you can buy a package or buy a copy of my book about how I became a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and, do it that way. But, the channel for now is monetized, and that works because I'm using it as a model to teach my kids how to be entrepreneurs. So don't hate me, Lane, and all you other guys for having a monetized channel. Having memberships does, because what happens when you guys buy a package of like 5 or 10 memberships, what happens is YouTube sends them out to other people who have similar likes and interests based on their algo. And then they come over to my channel and they go, man, thank you, whoever bought me that membership. I really dig your channel. Because, I'm a lawyer who is a blue collar guy who talks about things most lawyers are terrified to talk about. But I believe in natural law, and I believe that our rights come from a creator, and I'm unashamed and I'm unflinching in my desire to teach people about where their rights flow from, and to counsel them to form parallel systems so you don't have to shop at Target. You don't have to buy products from corporations that try to brainwash little girls into thinking they're boys, or brainwash little boys into thinking that they're girls, and teach them normal human biology. You don't accept the concept of perverted old men being able to share the ladies' room with your 4-year-old daughter. If you think like that, then you can become part of Team MPE and form parallel systems. So let's get into the next video. And this is Lane Meyers talking about his case and what just happened. And this was breaking news last night. So everybody, breaking news. It looks like all these criminal charges against Lane Meyers. Well, let's see what happened.
Laura Conover, that'll be, if you want to talk to me, come, feel free. If you want to meet me, I'll be standing in front of your house. She said, we don't got the reports. And if you have not already, you are receiving an update as to why. Oh, the update is. Bro, dude, they're out here, bro.
Who?
Feds.
Yeah, right.
They said 2 of America's most wanted in one place is too much. They can't fly. My house is a no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a no-fly zone enacted.
Nice.
So the helicopter. Profits over at my house because they can't fly the helicopters by me because I live too close to the mountain.
Give me a little bit of peace and quiet.
If they try to fly over my house, they'll hit the mountain.
Well, the sheriff lives across the street.
From who? What, Nanos?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But I don't want to tell nobody that on my live on my YouTube. That Nanos is one of my neighbors.
He's your next door neighbor.
He's not my next door neighbor.
Right next door.
There, I do have one across the street.
Sheriff?
Yeah.
What's his name?
He's probably sitting at the base of Mount Lemon with his lights on right now for the snow.
Oh,
He does that.
gotcha.
He's like 75 years old, and he's got
of
the one.
volunteers.
He's the one that's up on Mount Lemon. Oh, hey, park here. Parking lot's full. It says it's SIS team on his unit.
Oh, yeah.
He's like 75 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't even carry a gun.
No.
But hey, Laura said I'll be receiving an update. Oh, we received an update at 7:55 a.m. before the court even opened. What's this say? Prophet, do you know how to read?
I think so.
What's this say?
It says,
Wait, is this on there? Yeah, it's on there. What's this say?
comes now the state of Arizona by and through the Pima County attorney, Laura Conover, and her deputy, Samantha Walker, and applies for dismissal of the above entitled action without prejudice for the following reasons. Prosecutorial discretion.
All right, so it's not with prejudice. So I know, like all you haters and people who have your heads up the ass of the state will think, well, that's not a victory. The prosecutor dropped all the criminal charges against him because for whatever reason, they want to be able to refile them later. And that's why they were dismissed without prejudice, right? But no, this is a huge victory. Make no mistake about it. And if it was me, I'd go up on a writ and I would mandate that the charges be dismissed with prejudice. I mean, I would fight this tooth and nail, and I would make complaints with the bar and everything else. Now, remember, prosecutors have very broad discretion and they have immunity. So do judges. But there are regulatory agencies like the state bar, and with judges, the commissions on judicial performance, that can take away their licenses and careers and take away their seats if they're a judge. And this is, to me, circumstantial evidence of a malicious prosecution. And I'm very, very concerned that somebody who's just a freedom fighter, who's trying to fight for his neighbors and friends and for his own rights, got this many charges levied against him that were so, in my opinion, ridiculous. Now, because I'm not licensed in Arizona, I can only look at it from the perspective of a regular American and from what I would see under California or Texas law. But just looking at the general criminal law principles, what happened to Lane was unjust. All these criminal charges were ridiculous. And I'd like to have, if someone in the sidebar can tell us a little bit about what these charges were about, what was happening here, why they were brought, that would be great. We had Mr. Gold the other night kind of narrating for us what happened with him. I don't expect Lane to come on and narrate on my channel. The dude's pretty elusive, but I sure would like to know more about all this. I came in on the tail end and purely from the perspective of somebody seeking justice, and I just didn't pass the smell test for me. So that's why I'm covering this. It was a booing case, says Brent. So Brent says that is this the guy who booed at a city council meeting? And then he had all these charges brought against him. I remember something like this before I even knew about. So Brent, is that the one? Is he the one who booed? He booed at City Hall. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Tucson police suck says he got criminally charged for booing at City Hall. But dude, how do you get 21 criminal charges for booing at a public forum? And aren't you entitled to notice first before they arrest you? I mean, if you boo, typically that is, I guess, I know what they call them limited public forums, but they're one of the least limited public forums as far as I know there are, because there is a public interest that generally outweighs the state interest, right? In having information, and booing is simply a way of showing your dissatisfaction. I mean, look, guys, I may be a lawyer, but I don't know everything. And I want to hear about what your understanding is of Arizona law, because I can't believe that it could contravene the First Amendment that much that someone could get hit with 21 criminal charges for booing at a city hall. Booing and waving an American flag around. Is that what he was doing? He was waving an American flag? Well, that would definitely be a crime in California, especially at a public school. Of course, if you waved a rainbow flag and wanted, your perverted uncle to be able to share the restroom with a little girl, you probably would get the Presidential Medal of Freedom, right? So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So let's get into listening a little bit more about what happened in this case.
See how it says come? You see how I made Laura Conover come on demand?
Comes now.
I made Laura Conover come on demand. Laura said she's coming now in bold letters, didn't she?
Definitely.
You notice the only two things capitalized there are comes now and Laura Conover? It was a pleasure. I hope it was as good for you, Laura, as it was good for Mike. Mike Oxlong has been making them come now for a while.
Yeah, concerned citizen. That's why I'm over here. I'm going to school him a little bit on how to get him dismissed with prejudice.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, brother. I've already filed. You got to remember, I already filed a motion to dismiss with prejudice, and they waited. And technically, all right. So just so we're on the same page, the one we're looking at right here is the booing case. This is the Tucson booing at City Hall. So first things first. Can you see the chat?
Yeah.
Right there. That's because that's what always fucks me up is doing this.
Yeah.
No, I can't see. So the chat.
What do you want?
What is the chat seeing right now? That's why, because I don't.
This is what they're seeing. They're seeing the screen.
Right there.
Yeah.
So this is what the chat sees.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've never been able to.
Definitely a conspiracy.
All right. So what we're looking at right here is the booing case. Now remember, they took it all the way to 4 days before trial already. And now all of a sudden they want to dismiss because the judge is making them have an evidentiary hearing and the judge is ordering them to turn over the evidence. Didn't I tell you? So look how that works. The judge ordered them, turns over the evidence, and they just dismissed the case instead.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to help you out. Now you got to pay for depositions and then trying to get the information, which you said.
I said, give me the evidence. And they said, how about we dismiss it instead? And that's not okay because that clearly shows that they're only dismissing it to avoid giving me the evidence. And so what's going to happen is the sanction is it's going to get dismissed with prejudice. And the sanction is going to be they have to give me the disclosure as the sanction. It's going to get dismissed and they have to give me the disclosure because the only reason they're moving to dismiss it without prejudice is because I filed a timely motion to dismiss it with prejudice and they already passed the deadline to respond to that. So now they're fucked. And technically, they didn't even ask for leave to file this motion to dismiss without prejudice, which was due by December 30th. So if they wanted to dismiss it without prejudice, they needed to do that by December 30th. But instead, I moved to dismiss it. Oh, yeah, I forgot this is the mic. Oh, yeah. Are they saying anything?
Yeah, Farmer wants to know. Farmer,
about the mic? Can they hear?
Yeah, they can hear. This is the booing case. They can definitely hear you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, the booing case. This is the booing case.
Sassy Kisses is asking, isn't all of that evidence still available?
Oh, of course, it's a public record. But now I can't get a judge to give it to me until I have a lawsuit going. Like, I can't get a court order where they can be found in contempt until I have a lawsuit going. A public record, they can just delay and say this and that and that. So now I have as much of a chance as anybody else. But when I'm the defendant, I can have the judge order them to give it to me, which is what I did. The judge ordered them to give me the evidence, and they folded.
And you would get free deposition.
They knew that I was, but specifically, this is the booing case where she either had to issue a subpoena for a deposition of the mayor or dismiss the case. The state did. The state either had to give me, because the judge's order said give him the evidence and participate in giving him the pretrial interviews. So that means they have a court order to give me the evidence and a court order to give me the mayor. So instead of doing that, they dismissed the charges. But they think they're slick, and that if they dismiss it without prejudice, that's going to fucking quiet the noise. No, but all that does is show they were crooked all along, and they're still trying to weasel their way out of it because either you have the evidence and you're going to charge me, or you never should have. And either just if you don't have a case, if prosecutorial discretion is you've determined the juice ain't worth the squeeze, well then fucking you should have done that a while ago. So they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. It's kind of like being in a relationship with Lane Meyers. Samantha Walker's learning what it's like to date Mike Oxlong. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I tried to warn him. Because Foshin showed my motion to dismiss that they didn't respond to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll pull it up right here, though. But, I mean, he did already show that. We went over all this. But I filed a motion to dismiss with prejudice. And instead of answering that and arguing why the case should not be dismissed because they have all this evidence and they have probable cause and all that, all they did instead was fucking hurry up and try to dismiss the case before the judge grants my motion to dismiss with prejudice and holds them in contempt of court for fucking not turning over the disclosure. They're trying to weasel their way out the back door.
A couple people are asking about the dismissal to negate the fact
That's pretty
that
interesting.
was ordered to give the material.
So that shows you the wrangling going on. So, and another example of how if you have a bad prosecutor, how they can use the power of the state to destroy your life. And we've seen a recent rash of George Soros funded prosecutors going around and persecuting their political enemies because they know that once they get a criminal conviction against you, it discredits you. And that's the whole goal. Go to a far left jurisdiction that hates you as a politician, like these Trump cases, right? Bring a case in DC or New York, guaranteed to get a conviction, right? And then use lawfare to destroy your political enemies. Or in this case, use lawfare to destroy a local patriot, try to paint him as a crazy person, try to force him to accept a public defender and not let him represent himself, try to paint him as a crazy person, right? And I've seen that happen before in the past. Back when I was doing this in the 90s, this was very common. One of the approaches that we used when they would try to force a public defender on us was we would file a Marsden motion and have ourselves appointed our own counsel. Then they would try to appoint a public defender as a friend of the court for you. But the goal was always to try to have someone whispering in your ear to take the plea bargain. Well, why is that? Because with the plea bargain, now you have a prior. And that prior now comes with a sentence enhancement once you're charged again. And if they're able to use their friends in the leftist run news media and the police department and whatnot, trust me, they will again get another arrest, and they'll continue making arrests until they can shut you up. And as you follow the Lane Meyers and Reluctant Prophet and Mr. Gold saga, you'll see that it's all interconnected with a lot of cosmic energy. And it's really amazing to see what's happening here. And I'm just blown away at how Lane is able to stay cool as a cucumber. For me, I would be sweating bullets. And this dude acts like it's no big deal, like it's water off a duck's back. So give me a bunch of ones for Lane in the way that he maintains his composure. I recall when I woke up last night listening to some of this music that he was playing, like reggae music. He made a comment to the effect that it's all in your mind, something like that. It's everything's in your mind, wherever you are is where you are, or something like that. Anyways, it really made a lot of sense. And I was like, wow, man, this guy's got some cool stuff to say. Anyways, let's keep listening to him.
They do still have to give it even after it was dismissed, but that's what you're saying.
Well, technically, it hasn't. Technically, as a matter of fucking absolute fact, it hasn't been dismissed yet because the judge will probably wake up in the morning, read the motion, and dismiss it. So
you're gonna try and impose sanctions on them.
I'm gonna impose, kind of like when I went to the hearing with Riojas. It all comes down to, will this judge let me argue why it should be with prejudice at a hearing? and then I fucking can then show that that not only should the case be dismissed with prejudice, but they should be required to turn over the evidence, because the only reason they're not turning it over, or the only reason they're dismissing the case, is to avoid turning it over. So basically, I told them they were getting into a fucking pissing. They were like fight. It was like, come on, bro, you guys are peeing in the wind here. You're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. So I moved with prejudice.
Yeah, there may be a pizza party at the law library, Avery.
Oh, there'll be a pizza party. In fact, I already told Valenzuela that the last thing, now that I don't have those charges, I'm going to need to come down there and see if they'll arrest me for trespassing at the school. But the call's an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm not going to start it on the live right now, because Prophet's got to go soon anyways. Because it's my curfew.
Oh, the phone call from
From who?
the detective or the officer.
Is that what they're saying?
No, that's what you were just
Oh,
saying.
man,
Is
this
an hour and a
guy's
Yeah.
funny.
The phone call from Valenzuela is an hour and 20 minutes.
half. Is that the guy at the U of A police?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's not a coincidence that they dismissed the charges and 2 hours later he called me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
He's been supposed to call me since October 28th. They watch all my shit, bro. Trust me. He was watching live when I'm calling. He's going, oh, I watch. He's saying, oh, your show.
you didn't hear?
What?
You didn't know that there's a in the legal community downtown, there's a Lane Meyers community chat. Everybody's texting and everybody.
Oh, I'm sure there's a group text.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm positive. I'm positive.
Everybody downtown's on the group text.
Oh, I'm sure. Every lawyer, the Pima County Bar Association has probably put up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Pima County, hey, posted on my ex
Who's that?
that I won.
Oh yeah.
Greatest season in Detroit Lions history. Rising tides lift all boats, right? Greatest season in Detroit Lions history. 16-0.
That's pretty impressive.
Should
by
I go
the
get
way.
my Made in Detroit shirt?
No, I like the Sammy Walker shirt.
Oh yeah, this is the Sammy Colonoscopy Walker shirt. Oh, so like I said, back to this. I moved to see the difference. It's the same thing. Look. Here's their motion. One page. This is literally the entire thing. Page 1 of 1. Here's their motion to dismiss. Here's my motion to dismiss. You notice something a lot different? Something you need to learn too, bro? ChatGPT, case law, bro. Case law. You know what I'm saying? Case law, case law, case law.
So are those clickable links
Yeah.
to Westlaw? Okay.
And so, you know what's funny is how ironic they came to the conclusion to dismiss the bullying case and the U-turn case on the same day at the same time within 1 minute of each other. What suddenly happened? Like, don't those two cases operate independently of each other?
They should.
Shouldn't it be like, oh, in this case we're going to do this, and in this case we're going to do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So and if you're not already, you'll be receiving an update because we're dismissing it. That's your update. Okay. So, how do we go to the chat? So we'll smoke to those, right?
Absolutely.
We're gonna smoke to that, right? Let's all smoke to that. Let's all smoke to the bullying case getting. This was my lighter, wasn't it?
It was.
Because I bought two. It was like a thing where you bought two it was like a Black Friday lighter deal. This dude stole my lighter.
No, we traded for the kombucha.
Oh, he gave me kombucha. Well, I stole kombucha. Because the lighter was like $3 and the fucking kombucha was like $25.
All right, so man, if these guys were a what do you call it? Hold on a minute. If these guys were like a radio show, it'd be all over, man. These guys would be killing it. Wow, that is just too much. So Lawyer Dog says there were 16 charges. I wish I could list them all, but basic BS. Yeah, I believe that, man. Hey, good seeing you, Let's TVO. So just so you guys know, today is a day where I'm working, but I wanted to cover this for you guys because I promised my son I'd take him to judo tonight. So I figured, okay, I'll work and I'll just try to like narrate as I'm doing stuff so I can get some billables in at least so I can feed the fam. But by the way, hold on one second. If you guys like what I'm doing as far as Team MPEs going and covering stuff that's important to you, and you want to learn more about the law and you want to learn more about how I became a lawyer with no undergrad or law degree, you can pick up a digital version of my ebook by going to my YouTube page, and you can pick up a digital version, not this soft cover, but a digital version of my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. And I walk you through the different states that have law office study programs, as well as some of the steps that I took, including how to find a lawyer to study under, et cetera, et cetera. So it's more about California. So if you don't have an undergrad, how to take the CLEP so you can get the equivalent qualifications and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. And it's also digital. So as I edit it, you'll get the updated versions coming to you. So I'll always be sort of updating the book, and then it gets updated through Google Documents or whatever. So you'll be able to follow along with any changes that I make. But it's sort of similar to Kardashian and to what she did. So the bottom line is it looks like Lane Meyers was able to get at least 20 criminal charges dismissed against him that really looked like harassment. And I think that's pretty impressive. And now they were dismissed without prejudice, but when you listen to Lane Meyers' reasoning, you'll see that he had filed a motion to have them dismissed. Basically, they weren't giving him discovery, so I think he was seeking to have the charges thrown out. He's entitled to discovery, including exculpatory evidence. So what does the prosecutor do? They dismiss without prejudice so they can keep the sword of Damocles over his head. But as Lane correctly points out, as would be the case in California and possibly Texas, they dismiss the charges without getting leave from the judge. Now, typically, once charges are brought, the torch of prosecutorial power goes to the judge. And it's shared between the prosecutor and the judge because now the judge has jurisdiction. He has subject matter jurisdiction. So typically you would seek leave of the court to have that case dismissed. You wouldn't just get it dismissed on your own. However, when you file a motion to dismiss, the judge has to grant that motion. So I'm not sure how it works in Arizona, but the fact that the charges were dismissed, it may still have to go before a judge to be completely dismissed, but I don't know. If anybody knows, if Mr. Gold or Reluctant Prophet is here and they can share that with me, I sure would like to know what's going on, because I'm really into this case, man. I mean, I've never seen anybody, well, any two people like RP and Lane, the way they're able to work in tandem. It reminds me of, oh man, there was this really cool, I think it was an FM radio show, super funny, like the Ken and John show or something back in California back in the 90s. And I loved it, man. These guys remind me of like two shock jock radio hosts, the way they're able to feed off of each other's energy. And so what I like about it, and I'm not trying to patronize or anything. What I like about it is people with that kind of energy are able to educate people. You have to be able to entertain. You just can't be boring. If you can't have fun, you don't learn. And it's just like in martial arts too. You get good at martial arts by playing. If you're serious all the time and you're doing hard sparring like they do in boxing, knocking each other out, You're tense and you're not learning. Look at how bear cubs learn how to fight. Look at how lions learn how to fight. When they're cubs, they play. And so these guys bring it down to a level where we're having fun watching them. And as a result, we're able to learn, and our brain opens up, and the spiritual part of our brain, our pineal gland, everything opens up, and we're able to absorb more of that educational information, a lot more. So that's why, I always learn more from mentors and senseis who always approached it from laughter and fun and making everything a game, making it fun. So when it's time to rock and roll, everything connects and all the energy lines up, and you're able to defend yourself or go to war. And so that's something I want you guys to all think about, which is one of the things that attracts me to watching these guys work together. So it was a real treat to see them both interacting last night. So give me a bunch of ones for Lane and Reluctant Prophet. Now the next video that we're going to get into, as you guys know, I love the Marine Corps, and I'm unrepentant about it. Hold on one second. I know Marines eat their own, of course. That's the deal. But I'm going to start off with the first video. My father was a Marine. He died from Agent Orange exposure from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma just recently. I was a Marine. I have several of my Marine friends who are overseas right now, working as private contractors somewhere where I think you guys know where it is. And I really love the Marine Corps community. I have a military veterans nonprofit where I help motorcyclists, and I'm a supporter of the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club. Shout out to the Mad Dog chapter and the Peacemaker chapter, as well as the Spartans. Ragnar, if you're out there, thank you for the hatchet, for the Viking axe. We're still trying to give it away to the right donor. And what I do is I raise money for families who suffer from cancer, from service-related cancer, primarily Marines, but anyone who's a vet. And because it's mainly Marines who tend to be in my circle, and Navy SEALs, of course. And this goes out to you as well, Doogie. My buddy Doogie, he is a Navy SEAL. He's, I think, the vice president right now of the Peacemaker chapter in Texas. So that's what I do. I'm very heavily involved in the military veterans community. I work with the Wounded Warriors Battalion at Camp Pendleton to try and help Marines in particular find work, because the culture shock with Marines is unlike any other branch. You join the Army, you join the Air Force, you join the Coast Guard, you join the Navy, but you become a United States Marine. And it's real. It is really real. So I'm going to share this first short with you about this black dude, this dark green Marine, who comes from a really crummy background where he just, suffered. And somehow or another, he was able to become a Marine, and ultimately he won the Navy Cross, and it became a drill instructor. And it's just it's a crushing story. If it doesn't bring a tear to your eye to hear about this guy's story of redemption and resurrection, then you're not a human being. But I'm going to play his short first to give you a little intro about who this guy is. And then I'm gonna get in right on Kinetic Customs. So I'm glad you joined us. And then I'm gonna get into the longer version of the video, and we'll go from there. All right.
The depot commander comes on my squad bay, and he got this red folder, and he says, "What do you want me to give you a Navy Cross at?" So I don't want it. I get it. You humble. I said, "Sir, I ain't humble. I just don't want it. I ain't humble. I just don't want it." He said, "Okay." He said, "If you go check MOL, I'm pretty sure you already got it." Marine Online. So I go to the computer, log in. At the top, man, blue and white ribbon, NX, Navy Cross. I have a moment for myself, man. Come out from behind the desk, come back over to where I was sitting at. He said, "So do you think I'm going to give you the nation's second highest award for valor in combat, like second to the Medal of Honor, in a somewhat squared away duty hut?" I was, "Sir, if you came down here to tell me what to do, then tell me what to do, and I'll do that." He said, "No, I'm not giving you a Navy Cross in a quad or some barracks." He said, "You said something about your Marines being here. About your Marines being here." "Yes, sir, I'm not doing it without my Marines." He said, "Okay." And he left. He calls me up, and he says, "We're going to award you a Navy Cross in front of your Marines." He said, "I think it'd be good for them, and it'd be good for the Marine Corps." I said, "All right, sir." He said, "You good with that?" I said, "Sir, I'm just following orders." He's like, "McDade, I don't want you." I said, "Sir, I get it. You can't control how I feel about this, So I'm following orders because if I was able to get it, it wouldn't be no formation. They're Marines. That's the only reward they to get. That's the only reward they need. As far as like my drill instructors, I talk to them about.
So when he says they're Marines, this is Marine graduation. This is when he was at boot camp after he'd done his combat tours.
They ain't earned These are they'll get their time. The depot commander comes on my squad bay.
That freaking motivates me, man. All right, so let me just make sure I got this blown up right. All right. So this dude is a legit freaking hardcore Marine. He wins the Navy Cross, and he's on the drill field at the time as a sergeant. And I guess a staff sergeant comes in and says, "Hey, we want to award you your Navy Cross." He's like, "Okay, you can just give it to me right here in the duty hut." In the duty huts where all the drill instructors sleep and live. And he's like, "I don't really care about this Navy Cross. He just loves being a Marine. I mean, because this guy comes from a past where he's lucky he's alive, right? And multiple combat tours, been through hell, saved a lot of lives, been through Fallujah. I think he was in Iraq as well. Multiple tours, super legit Marine, man. So I'm going to share the last part of this video, and I'm going to drop the link too for you all. Really motivates me when I see stuff like this. It's on Urban Valor. The channel is called Urban Valor. Super, super cool video, man. It's a 3-hour video, so it's not like you can just we can watch the whole thing today. But I'm going to share with you the part that now that you know a little bit about him, you got to watch the first part so you learn about his childhood. Like crackhead parents, child abuse, seeing people killed in the streets. How this Marine recruiter basically was like, "Who the hell are you? You think you could be a Marine?" And almost like use reverse psychology to get this guy to join the Corps. Guy ends up becoming a guide, ends up experiencing some racism, beats the crap out of this dude. He's got these racist drill instructors who want to try to drum him out, and he won't let them. And the command, he catches the eye of the command. Typically officers, they don't, they'll burn you any chance they get. But like his command and his tops and his upper level echelon Marines, they see something in this guy. And so that's another rare thing about you. Just doesn't normally happen in the Corps. The guy even goes UA, and his first sergeant lets him get away with it because he's burying his brothers who were killed in a car accident, and he's going through psychological problems because he was such a damn good Marine, and he was a machine gunner. So it shows you that there is some compassion still left in parts of the Marine Corps. And so anyways, let's get into this video so you can learn a little bit about the stuff that I listen to when I'm working when I'm working, I listen to this kind of stuff all day. So you can learn about Team MPE and what makes Mike Eline tick. Let's go.
He's the depot sergeant major for MCRD. Sergeant Major Levy, he was the actual martial arts instructor at the time for Leatherneck Square. And so we go out, we do the defense and do the thrust. And, I either do like this or I do like this and I block static, right? And then we switch and he does the offense, I do the defense. And now Levy, he pumped up. He getting the recruits pumped up. And my mind is, I need to kill this fucking drill instructor so this recruit know that I will fucking kill him. Now, mind you, I did just come from Fallujah. I'm not thinking about that, but I probably should have took some time to get some therapy or probably take a nap or some shit. I don't know, bro. But Levy was like, in the ears, officer, eyeballs, click. Hey, we understand these drills about give you all they got. You understand that? Yes, sir. Hey, they better fucking close with and destroy the enemy. Eat fucking gut and blood. You understand that? He motivating the fuck out of these recruits. They all fucking spitting and fucking screaming and stuff. So he's like, hey, Josh on the right, you ready? I nod. Josh on the left, you ready? He nod. And he air winger. So he know I'm grunt. And he also heard about me in DI school, because he's in my DI school class. So he started trying to do what I was doing. I just got real low, bro. Real low, walking a tightrope real fast. And I'm just gonna just thrust him. But what happened was he got real low and then he tried to stand up. And then he shot a thrust and I came to the left, bro, and boom, hit him in his freaking face mask. He landed on the ground and I dropped the puker stick and I started stomping him out. Stomping the fucking face mask out. He was spitting blood. I mean, not blood, but he's spitting dirt and grass through the freaking ear hole of the football helmet. I pulled that shit off. Levy came up, fatality, get off of him. Get the fuck off me. Suarez. I don't know the fucking recruit, but he started running. That's how I remember the name. And I couldn't catch this motherfucker, bro. I chased this motherfucker all around Leatherneck Square. This white boy was fast. Couldn't catch him. So get over there and I still had to get him the boys for freaking doing a move block strike and all that stuff. But my second platoon, That platoon was great. It was a 5-hat cycle, small platoon. We won damn near everything in that cycle. We was on a platoon. Those recruits made me a rifle range, freaking hat plaque and everything. Before we got ready to go to the crucible, I had a few days left before I can't IT kids no more. And I got these 10 recruits that I can't stand. If they don't become Marines, it'll be a great cycle for me. Nothing personal to them, but at that time, you didn't meet the standard. And it probably wasn't fair to them, but all my Marines all the recruits that I trained with, they were getting trained for combat. Well, these 10 kids, I got them on a quarter deck. And now I'm seasoned. Now, this is my second cycle. I know how to get away with it. You know, when I'm making them scream, doing that 30-second break, I pause my watch. I'm fucking kids up, you know. And then third phase, you got 4 minutes, 30 seconds. They pose the rest, and then 4 minutes. But at 30 seconds, it's not really a rest. You're making them scream, general orders, all kinds of stuff. You're just making them scream to keep them going so they can't catch their breath. But at 30 seconds for me, when they scream, I pause my watch so you don't hear the beep. The depot commander comes on my squad bay. I don't know it's the depot commander because prior to that, there was a series commander that I couldn't stand. He and I just had a disagreement about something, so I'm not really paying attention. I know recruit stop and they report the deck, and I wait for him to say carry on. He said carry on. I said push. So I started wearing recruits out again, and then
James.
He says drill instructor, stop, hi, sir. Good afternoon, sir. And yes, sir. Are you sure you want to be doing that while I'm on deck? I still haven't made sense that this is the depot commander. And I'm thinking like, damn, did he know I paused my watch? And I looked at my watch, I'm like, no, sir, I still got 3 minutes and some change left. Carry on, sir. Push! And I start wearing him out again. He like, drill instructor, get in the duty hut. You kids go away. You kids. Okay, so I get inside duty hut. I don't know what the fuck, man. And I'm about to get on because I'm thinking this is the fucking captain. I'm like, oh shit. I get ready to, he's like, no, it's too fucking late for that, Sergeant. I'm like, damn, sir, I'm sorry. You're the depot commander. What are you doing in my squad bay? Well, you stop being a fucking maniac, I'll tell you. I said, get us something to drink. Yes, sir. So I go inside the little fridge, get him Gatorade. I get a Gatorade. And I'm sitting kind of like where I'm at right now. He's kind of right here, sitting down, and he got this red folder. And he says, what do you want me to give you a Navy Cross at? That's right, I ain't got no Navy Cross. He's like, Arby Leon McDade Jr., 3314? I said, yes, sir. Yeah, what do you want me to give you a Navy Cross at? So I don't want it. He's like, I get it, you humble. I said, sir, I ain't humble shit. I just don't want it. The depot commander, bro.
Depot
I'm talking to him
commander.
just like this. I ain't humble shit. I just don't want it. He said, okay. He said, if you go check him on
So I stand corrected. I thought originally it was like a staff NCO that came in to offer him his Navy Cross. This is the depot commander. So as I recall, it was a colonel at the time when I was at MCRD. It could be a general, like a 1-star, but I think it's a colonel. And that's a big BFD. And depot commanders don't walk in to squad base. It's typically going to be like a junior officer, like a lieutenant, first lieutenant or captain, right? And that's even rare. That's super rare. So he's already freaking out. This guy's a sergeant. I don't think he's the senior drill instructor yet. I just think he's a regular DI. And he doesn't even know he's been selected to receive the Navy Cross. And the Navy Cross is a big deal. It's 1 grade above a Silver Star, right? But 1 grade below the Medal of Honor. It's the second highest award that you can get in the Marine Corps or the Navy. And in the Marine Corps, I don't know about the other branches, but if you have a Medal of Honor, we salute the medal. Even if you're an NCO or a private, we salute you because you're wearing the Medal of Honor. And I saw guys at Camp Pendleton saluting like these old Vietnam Marines that were still in, salute them with Navy Cross. So it's a big deal to earn the Navy Cross, especially somebody like this guy. And look at how he's acting. He's like, I don't care about that freaking Navy Cross. I just love being a Marine. I mean, it just blows my mind. These are the kind of guys that I look up to. I want my son to model himself after people like this. I make my son and my daughter do book reports on stuff like this. Let's go.
Well, I'm pretty sure you already got it. Marine Online. So I go to the computer, log in. At the top, man, blue and white ribbon, NX, Navy Cross. I have a moment for myself, man. Come out from behind the desk, come back over to where I was sitting at. He said, okay, Now we got that out of the way. What do you want me to give you a Navy Cross at? Sure, you can give it to me. He's like, drill instructor, are you serious? Yes, sir. I don't understand. He said, so do you think I'm going to give you the nation's second highest award for valor in combat, like second to the Medal of Honor, in a somewhat squared away duty hut? I was, sir, shit, if you came down here to tell me what to do, then tell me what to do, and I'll do that. He said, I don't want to do it like that. I was, sir, you're going to have to tell me what to do, because if you give it to me, I want it right now. I'm not going to get that award if my Marines that I did the action with for the award aren't here. As a matter of fact, take me up to Lejeune. Let's go to Bravo Company 18, go to my quad. I got all my promotions there. Let me get that there too. He said, no, I'm not giving you a Navy Cross in a fucking quad or some barracks. He said, you said something about your Marines being here. About your Marines being here. Yes, sir, I'm not doing it without my Marines. He said, okay. And he left. We go to the Crucible, do the whole thing, come back, and doing graduation practice, he calls me up and he says, we're going to award you a Navy Cross in front of your Marines. He said, I think it'd be good for them and it'd be good for the Marine Corps. I said, all right, sir. He said, you good with that? I said, sir, I'm just following orders. He's like, McDade, I don't want you. I said, sir, I get it. You can't control how I feel about this. So I'm following orders, because if I was able to get it, it wouldn't be no formation. They're Marines. That's the only reward they get. That's the only reward they need. As far as like my drill instructors, I talk to them about, they ain't earned shit. These are fucking kids. They'll get their time. But yeah, we went through that whole thing, man, and then doing the graduation, because he told me, I said, sir, I don't want to say anything. I just want to come up, clap, clap, clap. You pin me on, out by face, clap, 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 and I walk off. He's okay, we can do that. Well, during graduation, I do that, walk up, clap, clap, clap. He pins me on, eye about face, clap, 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 and before I get ready to step off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a few remarks from Sergeant McDade, Navy Cross recipient Sergeant McDade. Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to Parris Island, South Carolina, to watch your new Marines graduate and serve our nation. I received this award on behalf of my Marines. And I walk off. And then later that night, they fly me to DC for my wife to catch up with me.
It's gonna be dope.
To be
Stick
a guest
around
of First
for
Lady
this.
Laura Bush for the State of the Union address for George Bush. So I was in the State of the Union address with this big ass Amazon built CIA lady with the wire in her ear. There was a guy there that received the Distinguished Service Cross from the Army. And there was a guy there who saved some kids out of a subway in New York. And the Dikembe Mutombo was there for the hospitals and stuff that he started in Africa. But the CIA lady was next to me. And I just got off the boys, bro. Like, I get it, Navy Cross tip and everything, but this time for me to go to sleep. Like, I need to go hibernate. You know, I've been killing hoes for like 13 weeks. So I didn't know that she had seen me sleep, but I saw her sleep. I say, man, you need to get your ass up and walk your post in military manner over here being asleep with the fucking wire in your ear. And she's like, okay, war hero, I seen your ass over here asleep too. And we fucking kind of started laughing and had that little joke between us. But as we were leaving the White House, man, you know, President, he acknowledged everybody, acknowledged the guy for all the people I named off to you. He named them all off and called them all out, me too. And as we were leaving, he like, Marine Corps, my favorite branch. Right, sir. He said, where you from? I said, Texas. Texas is my favorite state. Cowboys fan? I like, no, sir. He's like, well, shit, 2 out of 3, you can't beat that. And he said, hey, step aside, Marine, I want to talk to you. Okay. Now I'm nervous. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm one of the few black dudes up in here you can call Dikembe Mutombo. Like, I'm the only Marine, the only black dude up in here. So he put me in there. He said, hey, Marine, so what are they saying? And I'm like, sir? Yeah, what are they saying? Sir, request me to speak freely. Yeah, double dog, relax. Sir, they're saying you're fighting a war your dad should have fought. You're over there fighting for oil. We're fighting a war that we should never be fighting because they're in the weapons of mass destruction. And Marines are dying. I mean, military service members are dying for nothing. He like, damn, Marine, you hold up punches, do you? So he told me I can speak freely. He's okay. I received that. He said, you do this. He said, you tell everyone we can fight this war on American soil. You tell them to get their pitchforks, their knives, their pistols, whatever they have. But our nation will never face this kind of travesty again. You got it? Bro, I'm a Marine Corps. I'm a fucking MCRD, South Carolina, Parris Island, Marine Corps drill instructor, bro. I'm a fucking accomplish the mission. Yes, sir. Bro, I'm in a limo calling people. Hey, President Bush said strap up. If you don't answer the phone with it, I'm leaving voice messages. The next day, I get a chance to sit next to Sergeant Major Kent, and he taking care of my wife like it's his daughter. Like he just treating us like he our parent. Man, it was awesome.
Swahili.
I got a chance to meet his wife Liz and everything. And I'm thinking, man, we got to eat these freaking lamb chops and crumpets and all this other rich people shit. And we're never gonna get a chance to talk to the president again. But how do I report mission accomplished? So he gives his remarks, and I'd already met some of the butlers and stuff. Butlers in the White House are really cool, bro. Like that's some real cool shit to meet these guys. But I told him, I said, man, how do I get a chance to talk to the president after this? He said, man, you ain't gonna have no time after this. So if you're gonna talk to him, he has to be here. All right. So he got done talking. He had a break in his speech. Stand up. Good morning, sir. Drill Sergeant Saul McDade, Paris Island, South Carolina, Charlie Company. Request me to speak to the President of the United States. He's like, what can I do for you, Marine? Hey, sir, mission accomplished. I called everyone, told him what you told me to tell him. He kind of just started laughing his old fashion. He was like, ladies and gentlemen, United States Marine Corps. And everybody kind of started laughing and clapping. I'm looking down, like, what the fuck they laughing at? And so Major's like, boy, I'm so proud of you. I never knew about that. When I talked to him about it, he said, man, just the fact that you're the only person who'll stand up in the White House to say something to the president, just let him know you did the job. I was like, I'd rather ask for forgiveness. I'd rather ask for forgiveness.
Right on, man.
Man, the rest of the time on Paris Island, man, it was good, man. And I found myself getting a little bit more reckless. Being unprotected with chicks, getting in the shootouts to some of the nightclubs and stuff in Beaufort. Beaufort is a historical landmark.
All right, guys. So as much as I want to keep going, I have a couple of depositions today and a mediation and a bunch of other stuff on my agenda. So I obviously don't want to be rolling reaction videos while I'm doing that, but I'm hoping you guys can see if you really are considering a career in law, if you want to be successful and not, work for a government agency or whatever, it's going to take a lot because you have to get your name out there. You've got to meet people. And you have to filter through a lot of cases that you can't really handle. Like for example, you guys on YouTube, you send me stuff that's outside my wheelhouse. I do catastrophic accidents, like airplane accidents, cruise ship man overboard, tight police handcuff cases where you have an amputation of a hand or a wrist or a finger. Where a FedEx truck runs over one of my biker brothers. I'm really heavily involved in the biker community, the MC community, and I help those guys, in particular their wives and stuff, because, a lot of these guys are crazy and they don't leave a whole lot for their families because a lot of them are veterans and they're suffering from PTSD. And because I have a higher IQ and I have a caring disposition, I always think ahead about how can I try to create a situation where I can help these folks. But if you guys are considering a career in law, this is what I do. I'll get up at 4 a.m. I'll do my workout. And, during the afternoon on my lunch break, I'll go through my homeschooling courses with my daughter, take my son to judo if I can in the evenings. And if not, because my wife says, well, hey, if you can, if you're able to make this YouTube channel work, Mike, and it's going to help the family, then I'll take Gunner to class. But you can't just, just be doing it because you're having a good time. You've got to look at it from the point of view, is it going to help the family? So that's why I tell you guys, when you pick up a copy of my book or buy memberships or get a super chat or whatever, it does help because it keeps her off my back and keeps the channel going. It supports the channel. It supports my ability to come and share this information with you. But the bottom line is being a lawyer is not some glamorous thing. And you'll find that a lot of people hate you, especially the sovereign citizen community. And most of them are very ill-informed. They don't understand what it's all about. They just believe anything anyone tells them. But it is true. Guys like Lane are right. Being an officer of the court restricts me in a lot of things that I can and can't do. But it also puts me in a position where I can help people like Reluctant Prophet and Mr. Gold, where Lane might not be able to offer as much assistance because he's always going to be at the risk of being accused of practicing law without a license and all that, which we don't want. So I'm able to run cover for people like that and work with people like that. When I find a super talented person who has a Cray computer-like brain, those are the kind of people that I like to work with. So in a nutshell, practicing law is not that glamorous, and you have to find a way to find clients, obviously. And so far, I haven't gotten any clients off of YouTube. So it's more of a fun thing, but I'm glad that I'm able to share all the stuff about what I do and about what I'm into with you. And I'm not expecting you guys to look at me like I'm some kind of a cult figure. I'm just an average guy with an above average work ethic. I'm a highly disciplined individual, and I'm hoping that by you guys following my example of discipline, you'll understand that discipline equals freedom. So don't sit around and make up excuses or beg people for money. Go out and make it happen for yourself, and the money will follow. Now, let me just see if there's anybody who has any questions for me, and then I'm gonna lock it up for the day. Mustang 1969, great year, dude, great year. And to be out LARPing with the boys this morning. Probably not, Kinetic. Good seeing you, James Forbes. Good seeing you, Lawyer Dog. Don't be giving me that all hail Mikey stuff, man. It's ridiculous. What I want you guys to remember is that your rights come from a creator. Read the Declaration of Independence. Stop believing that the government is the source of your rights and freedoms. Absolutely not. It's you, because you are a direct product of your creator. And that's why I push that. So if there's anything that I could do that would be meaningful to me, it would be to teach you guys critical thinking and to help you form parallel systems. I would like it if you would form parallel systems. You would stop buying things from corporations that are acting against your interests as parents and families and constitutionalists and libertarians, and that you would start trying to form a loose alliance with each other. Homeschool your kids, homestead, grow your own food, get off the grid as much as possible. And if you are under fire, under attack from these administrative agencies who are basically, it's like the modern day Logan's Run, basically, right? That's how it is. Google Logan's Run sometime. That we have enough people in our group, in our network of a loose confederation of people who are like-minded, but not on everything. That's what makes Team MPE different. I don't care what your political leanings are, as long as you believe in natural law. As long as you understand that we're fighting for natural law, for the rights of the individual, not the rights of the mob. We don't believe in democracy. We believe in a constitutional, natural law republic where the rights of the individual matter and the mob is bound by the chains of the Constitution. So with that being said, guys, I got to get crack-a-lacking. Got to keep putting hours on the books. So if you guys have any questions, reach out anytime. It was an honor to have been able to see Mr. Gold on my show last night. It was spectacular to hear that Lane Meyers was able to get those criminal charges dropped. Spectacular to hear that Reluctant Prophet was able to get his cases resolved as well with prejudice, at least one of them, I believe, civil cases. And it just makes me happy. It gives me a burning in my bosom, as the Mormons would say, when regular, ordinary people who just want to be left alone finally receive justice. But what you'll see that's common among all of them is that they're proactive in learning their rights, and they don't run to the nearest attorney. They do their own research and they find out what works. And so I'm very, very impressed with these guys. I would expect you to support their channels. And also, by the way, guys, give me a bunch of ones for Chili DeCastro over at Delete Laws. He killed it last night with that fire reporting coverage. And I do believe that Chili has probably a really strong lawsuit against the police for denying him the right to accompany the press pool. I think that the case law and just natural law is on his side. We are all members of the press, and he's out there with a channel that gets more viewers than all of CNN combined. I mean, dude, CNN doesn't even get views anymore. Nobody watches it unless they're like a public school teacher or a college professor. Regular people who support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights don't watch that crap. That's all part of the administrative bureaucratic state. The brainwashed people that still think that the government runs the show. they ignore the fact that our founding fathers wanted the people to run the show. So Semper Fi, Avery. So yeah, CNN, Blackman 903, CNN, the Communist News Network. What a joke. I mean, those guys are so insignificant. I mean, the only people who watch them are government employees and public school teachers, basically. So, Lawyer Dog, good seeing you, brother. Black Man 903, good seeing you, dude. I hope you watched that show about that dark green marine I was playing earlier. Freaking legit, man. Watch the last half. Watch this dark green marine who originally was from Pasadena. I'm gonna drop this link too, real quick, real proper like. You know what I'm saying? We'll drop this here link right here. Hold on. You guys get a chance. I don't know if you're able to click on this, but go to here. Hold on a minute. Before I go, I'm going to see if I can open this thing up to where I can share this with you through the regular. Give me 1 second, guys. Just give me a freaking doggone second there, you. Hurry up. I love my Marines, man. The best of the best. Hold on 1 second, guys. I want to share this link with you in the sidebar, a clickable one. I've got to open up the regular. Okay, here we go. Especially you, black man, click on this link and check it out. This is the whole program of this dark green Marine who won the Navy Cross. It is out freaking standing. Motivates the crap out of me. That's what I keep telling you guys, you know, like that's why I hate this whole DEI thing where the government's trying to pit us against each other based on race. Because in the Marine Corps, in particular, yeah, there's always going to be shitbirds who are racist or whatever, wherever you go. But the idea is, guys, is that we don't focus on our differences. We focus on what makes us similar. And that is our love of God, country, and Corps. And I can't think of any organization that exemplifies that more than my beloved Corps. And if you, yeah, that's right, Take Five. But I want you guys all to watch that video and make sure to like and subscribe to that channel as well. It's super awesome. If you guys want to get inspired, it's called Urban Valor. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to share the Urban Valor TV link as well before I go. Dude, it is so sick. Every single one of these videos is inspirational. It's inspirational, man. It's legit. So go check it out. Learn about, you know, what makes us more like each other than not. Get rid of this stupid DEI garbage, this anti-white racism. It's stop trying to swing the pendulum back and forth for revenge. Have a neutral position where we look at each other as God's creatures and we love one another. And we form parallel systems where we only do business with people who are like-minded. Stop buying things from Target. Stop taking your kids to these brainwashing camps that we call public schools. Homeschool your kids, for crying out loud, guys. They're your babies. They don't belong to some blue-haired nut job who just came off a safe space at a college campus at $200,000 in debt with a degree in underwater basket weaving. No. Start teaching your kids about valor, about love of country, about our founding fathers, about the republic for which it stands. You know, all these amazing things that we have at our feet. And so far, we've been able to do it. You know, with Team MPE, I've gotten over 20,000 subscribers. And out of that, several thousand of them are already working with me. We're doing business with each other. I'm referring business to you, like your silk screening company. You guys know who you are. I'm referring business to you guys who are dog trainers in Missouri. And you know, you're a patriotic run business. So I'm trying to help you guys get like-minded people. I'm teaching you guys how to buy silver and gold, teaching you about stacking, teaching you about survival techniques, close quarter combat lessons. I got my buddy who's MARSOC who comes out, and a former Navy SEAL guy. We come out and we do shoot house out in Nevada. And we just work with each other, and that's what it's all about. So that's what I'm hoping that we can do for all of you guys on my channel. Anyways, you know, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. And so all I have to say from that perspective is Semper Fi, do or die.